Hello everybody, my name's Atley. Welcome back to my channel and my SnowRunner Hard Mode playthrough. We are in Big Salmon Peak, Yukon, in the Taiga. We're not going to the Tatra Phoenix this time. I've just come through the warehouse as a easier route. I wanted to pick up fuel anyway, and I'm going to go off into the swamp and pick up some metal beams and bricks for factory sewage treatment facilities. So we need a total of 3 metal beams and 4 bricks for this one, and there are 2 metal beams and 2 bricks pretty much dead ahead in the swamp. So we're going to fight our way through with the blue trailer because there's 6 slots of cargo I want to pick up on this trip, and then get these back to the factory and then think about coming back down again or whatever's next. I haven't worked out yet where I'm going to get the 3rd lot of metal beams that I need. I did realise that in the last episode I crafted 1 more medium pipe than I needed, so technically I've wasted 2 metal rolls because I don't even need it on the other map. There's a medium pipe in the warehouse that we've just passed, and I didn't realise that. So technically I have wasted 2 metal rolls, but I think I've got a surplus of them anyway. It's obviously not good to waste them, but I don't think it'll impact the save. I'm going to pause here. I think this is where I want to check the map and make sure I know where I'm going, but it's basically here somewhere. So handbrake, turn my engine off, save some fuel. Let's have a look. So metal framing. I kind of feel like I should get the bricks so I'm not hauling metal frames through the swamp, but yeah, I think I'll come in. I'll get this one, then I'll come across this way. It's not worth having an intermediary waypoint, and then I'll come back this way. Intermediate waypoint, I can't really tell the shape of the terrain well enough, so I'll just follow the waypoint but use my judgment as I'm going through the terrain. So I'll pick up 1 metal beam, then I'll pick up the bricks, then I'll come back and get the other metal beam. I think that's an efficient way to do it. And I'm going to be carrying 6 slots of cargo, so I'll have to be a little bit careful how I manage my unloading and so on. Let's get them loaded up and then work out the route that I want to take back. So that one first. So in the last episode I had a audio issue where I muted my microphone, and I had to end up doing a fairly extensive voiceover. I think 2/3 of the episode was voiceover. And in the past where I've had issues, I've pretty much written off an episode. I'm not sure why, maybe I'm just feeling a bit more comfortable, but this time I didn't really. I felt the voiceover went alright, it wasn't too bad. I hope it came across alright when I was editing it. I was dreading it a little bit, but I think it flowed well enough. I obviously explained what had happened rather than trying to pretend nothing had happened. So you guys got to experience my pain of doing the thing, but I think it worked alright. Manual loading zone is blocked. Try that. So that's destroyed their building. Let's get in and get it loaded. I'm using the controller again. I want to see if it works. I think my crane will clip through this tree. It's going to look a bit weird, but I think at the end of the day it works. Crane mode. I might need to put the HUD back up just so I remember the controls. Or I'll put the controller down and just use mouse and keyboard. Yeah, so I got the same issue as last time. This is really weird because it works on my campaign save. Because I've tested it. So the A button is meant to attach the winch. And on my campaign save it does. But on this save it doesn't. That makes no sense whatsoever. See if I can rotate it a bit. I'm not going to stress about the controller. I'll use it when it feels natural, and I'll switch to mouse and keyboard when it doesn't. Eventually, I think the controller will be better, but I'm not going to stress it. I'm just going to use it as I feel like it. So I've got to turn around and go that way. That's a bendy tree, so that's all right. Probably want to go to the right of these trees. Bricks are going to be a bit awkward because it's the one extra pallet of loose bricks I'm going to want to put on top. So if I put them in the truck now, I'll have to take one of the pallets out to allow me to... Oh, that's a big old puddle. Yeah, maybe I should have gone the other way. I see a route through here that takes me to another trail. That looks like a path that I can get through with Big Blue. Yeah, that worked. So yeah, hopefully the voiceover didn't bother anybody. I think it came out alright. I'm not entirely sure about the microphone settings just yet. I've tweaked a couple of things, but it's probably... I don't want to drastically change every episode. I felt that the bits of quiet speaking I was doing... Whoa, 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 back up. Back her up. That was a bit more than I thought it might be. Well, I should have known. So I'm still fiddling with settings basically, but hopefully I've done hours of messing around with test episodes, you know, test recordings. So I'm doing everything I can to try and make it as seamless as possible. But what I do find, this is the mic that I've bought is a HyperX Qualcast, not the S, the normal version. And my previous mic was a fairly good Rode mic, but it's not meant for content creation. It's not tuned for this type of job. Whereas the HyperX is a kind of specialist content creators, YouTube and streaming. That's this is the target audience for that mic. Whereas my Rode mic is more of a office, Teams, web chat, one that I got at the start of the pandemic when I suddenly started working from home a lot. I bought it for office use, but it's not really. And I compared the Rode mic with the HyperX, and to me it sounds better. Read some reviews, bought it. I think it's better, but I am kind of still in the tweaking and learning phase of using it, so feedback always welcome. I've already had some feedback saying it sounds probably a bit clearer, which is exactly what I was after. It's a little bit more sensitive to the quiet parts of when I talk, so trying to come across a little bit less mumbly, improve the quality of the work I'm doing. Bricks, loading platform, first pallet, crane, legs. It picked it up that time. That was the A button worked that time. Pallet sliding towards me now. Physics is just, it's the pallet sliding uphill on a loose line. Yeah, this one's doing the same thing. I do find that funny. Turns out if you mess with controllers, you're not fluent in either. Right, that'll do. Restore the crane, pack the cargo. And we've now got 4 slots loaded, but I'm going to have to mess around with those bricks to get the other set of metal beams in. Because I don't want to do metal beams on top. Else it makes much difference actually. And then turn around. Sorry mate, took your picnic table out. You having a picnic in the swamp, really? Wouldn't believe you. So I know that I've got 3 pallets of bricks in the warehouse that's located up near the concrete processing factory. I know that's the thing. I know obviously there are more bricks. There's 4 pallets that are fairly easily accessible down south near where the Voronggrad is parked up, near the iron place. I did say something last episode that was wrong. I corrected it in edits with a subtitle, but just in case anybody didn't spot that, I said that I didn't think there were any unlimited bricks, but there are on flooded foothills. Turn this off a minute. Look at where they put all these trees, like right in the middle of my loading zone. That's going to be awkward. Let's put that on the loading platform. How am I going to get in there then? I know. Yeah, so there are unlimited bricks, but they're right at the north end of Flooded Foothills, near where the caterpillar is. And I think it's more efficient to just grab them here rather than assume I can get them. You know, that little tree there's a bit titanium, isn't it? I'm trying to get past it because I think if I get past it, I might be able to, now that the building's gone, use the slab of the building to maneuver. Was my thinking. Such as it is. And then if I can safely, that's the operative word really, safely park my trailer there. A little bit worried about fuel. Detach the trailer. Actually, no, attach the trailer and unpack it first. Then detach it. Then I can move myself, get one lot of bricks out the way. Get the metal beams packed, put the bricks on top of the front beam, and hope that I can get back to civilization and fuel without losing it. I probably should have picked up the bricks last, because I'm going to have to mess around with these a little bit now, but I'm just going to put them on the floor there. The A key is working now for attaching the winch in crane mode. Weird, it wasn't earlier. Try and turn it and then lob it in the trailer. A little bit slack, but that'll do. Crane mode. Legs, let's get those bricks. And get out of here. Right, engine up while I look at the map. So I got two ways of going. My fuel isn't wonderful. 40% of a tank. If I rejoin the railway line and go upwards, Is that the shortest route to fuel if I can negotiate the railway line? I think it probably is. Yeah. So I'm going to try to get back, I think here. That's the level crossing, and then up the railway line. If need be, I've got a little bit of fuel in the Phoenix. But really, I'd like to get to the fuel trailer. Fuel is getting a bit of a problem. I've got about 1,200 litres in that fuel trailer. But of course, I need to hand it in with 500 available. So I've got 700 usable. And then my Kodiak is empty. Except for its main fuel tank. But its add-on is empty. So fuel on this map is starting to get tight now. And it's all concentrated in one place, which is a little bit of a problem. So yeah, I think I'm going to head up the railway line into the warehouse and around to fuel. Or actually, if I'm going to fuel, I may as well just not go in the warehouse, go up the railway line all the way to here. And then hope I don't lose these bricks off the top. Pull the crane. Let's go. Yeah. Double stacking is easy when you're just doing road work and you just have to drive a little bit careful. When you're in this bumpy stuff, it might not be so easy. Especially that railway line is quite difficult to negotiate. Because you can't really avoid going over at fairly steep angles. Stop at hunting gears. So much easier to change gear with a controller than it is to do it with a mouse. That is one thing I will say. But the main reason for me persevering with a controller is how difficult it sometimes is to drive with a... Everything else I don't find too bad. It's nice to have analog, steering especially. But yeah, I don't really find mouse and keyboard too hard to drive with. Except for that gear change. So one thing about doing the voiceover that I did feel, especially when I was editing it, is that in some ways it's easier because you don't have to, you're not focusing on the truck, so you can focus a bit more on what you want to talk about. Whereas live narrative, I'm constantly distracted because my tiny little brain is trying to focus on not falling over, not running out of fuel, calculating which cargo to pick up, all of the stuff that you have to calculate as a driver in this game. Whereas when I was doing the voiceover, the hardest part of it really was remembering what was about to happen on the episode that I only recorded 4 hours earlier. But I didn't even, you know, I didn't attempt, if you've seen the episode you'll know, I didn't attempt to try and like pretend it was still live narrative or be spontaneous about it. I was so you don't get the suspense of live narrative. So I think I generally personally, when I'm watching a let's play, I prefer live narrative over the type that do post gameplay voiceovers. Personally, that's my choice, but I did find it easier to do in some ways. So I can see at some point in the future, I won't be as worried about using voiceover if I end up streaming, which I would like to do, I think. If I end up streaming, then kind of a stream summary or a recap video would be voiceover rather than live, because you're doing a recap and therefore you're explaining what you did in the stream. And I'll be a lot less concerned about doing that now than I was before, because I've had a bit of a practice. I'm stuck on a tree and I'm waiting for it to despawn, which it will do. Maybe if I back off it. Give it a chance to sink into the ground. My trailer, basically, you can just about see there's a tree snarled up in my tyres. There we go. It's just dropped into the terrain. So I should now be able to move forward again. Or not. I've got the fuel for this. I think I've gone into a bit of a death mud trap. When I'm coming down through here, normally I'm in the two wheels on the track. Trying to avoid dropping the bricks. And then now is probably the most dangerous bit. I've got to try and get across here without dropping the bricks. Right, now we just gotta get to the fuel without running out, which isn't far up this road. And then we'll be into the factory. $23 litres, so it just started getting to the point that it was coughing and spluttering and farting a little bit. That brings me down to 900, 400 litres left, and then I have to hand this in. So I think I'll be doing a Michigan fuel run quite soon. I moved while I was getting ready for the episode. Obviously, I got the Tega out of where I left it last episode, where it got the twin steer back on its wheels. I also moved the twin steer back down to the metal construction factory, because the next thing I need to move out of there is 2 lots of large pipes, which is a 4-slot cargo. So I figure that's a good opportunity for the twin steer to flex its muscles again. It is pretty good at 4-slot cargo on a road when you don't have to do any tippy stuff. Right, cargo management. 2 lots of metal beams. And then, before delivering the bricks, I will unpack and repack. And then it'll let me do 2 lots of bricks. So that needs 1 more metal beam and 2 more bricks. So let's have a look at the map. Where's the metal processing factory? Rolled steel factory. So that's got 5 metal rolls in it. So I need 8 to do the large pipes, but looking at the map, the only metal beam I can pick up off the floor is that one, and that's way off my beaten path. I don't really want to go all the way up there for that, so I think I'm better off crafting. So I think what I'll do next is back up to this warehouse, grab those 3 bricks and some metal rolls, and then take them down to the rolled steel factory. But ideally I want 5 metal rolls to make 2 large pipes and 1 metal beam. How many bricks do I need? Sorry, so I need 2 for that one. I need 4 for main block, so 6 so far, and then reservoirs is done. So if I only need 6, I'm going to take 2 of these. I'm going to leave 1 in the warehouse and then fill up the rest of it with metal rolls as much as I can. Right. It's not pretty, but that'll pack, I think. Touch and pack. Yeah, so that's packed all 5 slots, which will be enough metal rolls to make the large pipes, but not to make the extra metal beam that I need. But anyway, let's get it delivered. So 2 lots of bricks into the factory and 3 lots of metal rolls down to the steel construction site. So sewage treatment, that's the one I'm on, isn't it? Sewage treatment. I'm gonna have to dig out Lex's comment so I can understand what it is I'm meant to do. I wonder whether I can complete that one if I messed around with cabins. Refuel. Going to be a little bit of a traffic jam down at the steel place though, because I've got the Vorongrad, the twin steer, and then I'm going to be going in there with this. I'm hoping that there's a big fancy construction animation for each of these 3. Like tidy up the yard, get rid of all these cabins and finish building whatever they're building here. I'm not going to get there today, obviously, but yeah. Alright, let's get these metal rolls delivered. I should load up the metal beam now. Whichever way I do it, I'll need to take 2 more. And if you think about it, at the top of the episode I said that I wasted 2 rolls crafting a medium pipe that I didn't need to craft because there's one in the warehouse up by the railway station. That's the 2 rolls that I'm missing to be able to complete this without doing another trip. Which is a little bit of a bummer, but hey. If there's only 2 that I need, I can send the grad up there to pick them up. Although I'm sure there's other stuff I need to pick up from there anyway. And metal rolls are needed on flooded foothills. And although you can turn metal beams into rolls, it kind of looks on the map to me as if it'd be more efficient to bring them from here. The surplus from here is pretty much all accessible by road. And less effort than hauling metal beams from the unlimited supply in flooded foothills down to the place where you can turn them into rolls and then hauling them back to the gold mine. So in my head at the minute, I think it's probably more efficient to bring the surplus rolls from here for the gold mine requirements in flooded foothills. So none of it's going to go to waste in the long run. Except that medium pipe. So yeah, I will handbrake, engine off, cargo mode, and deliver my 3. Then metal beam craft 1. Hang on, didn't quite finish. And then metal beam onto the loading platform, please. It's too far away from me, but I'm a bit mad. So let's jump truck into the grad. The grad can put it onto the twin steer. And then the Tega can pick it up. Coming into daylight again. And then quick look at the map, because there are bricks that I should pick. I might as well pick up now. There's no reason not to. I may as well get these bricks. In fact, I might as well get these bricks and that wood framing. No, I don't need that wood framing actually. I'm just going to get the bricks. Keep it simple. So down the railway line, which is this way, to those bricks. There's a couple of wood framing down there, but right now I don't think I need them. I've got one that's right next to the crafting zone, so I may as well just use that closer one rather than carrying 6 slots from a longer distance. Probably safer. So I'm going to maneuver my way around this corner if I can. Those curbs aren't going to help me though. Lights back on. Oh, it's coming into morning. One thing I do have to do with this controller is, for me, the camera up and down is inverted from what it should be. I need to go into settings and change that if I'm going to carry on using it. So metal beams and 2 pallets of bricks. It's not a bad delivery. I'll try and avoid the trailer clipping into the loading area. At the same time, I've got to be close enough to load. So let's go past it and then back her up a little bit, so that I'm able to stay in the yellow box but not clip the red box. Not going to get fancy, I'm just going to chuck them on the back and let Autopack sort it out. That's as far as my crane can reach anyway. I don't want to mess around with unhooking my trailer here. Right. Engine off. What's my route back? Probably spin it around this building and then take what I know to be the muddy route back, but I know the route. So it's probably that, past the garage and run all the way around rather than trying to get back, I think. Yeah. So as long as I've got room to get around this platform, actually I can go over it now that I've knocked it down. Back to the level crossing. Ooh, 25 suspension damage. What did I do on that? I thought I was rolling quite gently. There's a pallet of wood there that's just knocked a hole in my sump. My bad. Knob his chocolate block and his oil barrel out the way. Not that I'm salty or anything, but your pallet would just knocked a hole in me something, mate. Not happy. So this is enough metal beams to finish sewage treatment. And it's half of the bricks needed to finish main. And then the other thing I'll need to do is get some cargo containers. And there are 2 at the railway warehouse. And I need 2. Perfect. To craft 2 more cabins. Because I've got 1 cabin on this map, I think. And I need 3. And I am going to be reusing them the way that it was suggested in comments. That's a nice long reach on that winch. I was a little bit surprised that reached then. Clark's Machine Yard. It's not Clark's Machine Yard, it's Atlay's Machine Yard. It'd be funny if you could update the stickers on that stuff with your own logos, that you can in some games. Brand it as yours. I've just remembered, coming down here has reminded me, I never did deliver that service trailer. So I moved it when I went up to rescue the grad that had fallen over on its side. I moved it from here, but that's a task, I think that's the only task I haven't completed yet. That was my fuel. Oh, I need a wheel. I've taken out a wheel. So I need a wheel from my friend in the Ford. I need to run the Ford down to resupply anyway, so I'm not too worried about taking stuff out of the Ford. Will it go over this in high? Yep. So, bricks. 2 more bricks needed. Everything else on that one done. And then that's main block. And then sewage treatment facilities. Metal beam done. So that needs 2 cabins for sewage treatment facilities. And then tank for the plant. I will check before I start getting ready to haul the wrong thing in the wrong place, but I think what Lex has said is that tank for the plant is the fuel trailer, and that the reservoirs, oil tank semi-trailer, is this one up by the warehouse. That's a couple of big oil tanks on a trailer that are used for the reservoirs. But I will confirm that in the comments before, and that's just my memory, right? I've read it a couple of times. I understood it at the time I read it. I just don't remember the exact detail right now. But what I think I'll do with any time that I've got left in this episode is run down into the warehouse near the Phoenix and load up 2 construction cabins. I haven't mentioned it for ages, but as you can see, I've got some big old holes in the floor for my graphics glitch, a terrain glitch that I still have, which one of my viewers said they use exactly the same graphics card and CPU as me and they get exactly the same glitch on their PC. So I'm assuming that's a shader issue to do with my AMD graphics card. I don't have high hopes of it being fixed because there's other glitches in this game that they've never fixed. Like where you get the sort of square of mud sometimes on snow. But I don't really mention it, but it only occurs near a truck that you've parked up and going back to that area. So it's something to do with how they load in the piece of land that a truck is on when it's been left, or a truck or a trailer for that matter, when it's been left unattended and you go back to an area, or you load in a save that's got a truck. When they generate the terrain around a parked vehicle, that's when you get that terrain glitch pop up, which is why I don't see it most of the time. But the area where I've got the Kodiak and the Ford parked up, I just noticed when I was there just now, is particularly bad. And presumably some of you guys notice it, some of you don't. And I've done a fairly good job of programming my brain to not worry about it too much. Because if you worry about it, if it started bugging me, I'd stop playing. So I'm not letting it bug me, basically. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's something to do with the way they load in the physics engine the terrain around a parked vehicle. What would be interesting, not that I'm in a position to do this really, is if I put in a decent NVIDIA graphics card, whether that would fix my existing terrain on the save. But I'm not going out and buying an NVIDIA graphics card just for that. I'm going to take some more fuel. I'm going to end up draining this below its 500 target. It's only 11 litres over that 500 target now. And I have needs of fuel. I'll end up having to bring some fuel back to put into that. Because that's basically me now. The only fuel I've got spare, if you will, is what's in the tanks of the vehicles. That fuel that's in that trailer is meant to be for the handing of the contract. Coming through here again, I do think this is quicker. I do think it's a lot quicker. Get a couple of wheels up in the tracks, makes the drive quite easy. The trailer sort of crabs along because its wheels are on the wrong side of the tracks and they're not bumping over the rail, but that's fine. The main thing is that the truck has an easy drive and it's more fuel efficient and quicker than going through the sticky snow. Phoenix can load me up. Then the only thing of value in these warehouses after that, I think, there's an unlimited supply of consumables from one of them, and then there should be 10 metal rolls. Right, we're going to do something here. Let's cargo mode container onto the loading platform, and then back her up, turn the engine off, op trucks, That was the only one I checked before the episode. Another cargo into the loading platform. Then change truck. Park across the back, and then the Phoenix should be able to reach them both to put them in. I think that should work. Engine off. Change truck again. Back it up a little bit so it's pretty close to the blue trailer. Much better crane than the blue one. Now, question is there anything I would want to? Now, that's the medium pipe that I should have picked up, but I didn't. So if I can be cheeky and put 2 metal rolls in the back, let's pack that cargo, pull forward a bit. If I'm a cheeky boy and I can squeeze 2 metal rolls loose in the back of that, I could deliver the 2 cargo containers, and then I would have enough metal rolls heading in the right direction to craft the large pipes that I need. It is a bit cheeky though. Not sure how well they'll fit. I mean, I know I would do this in the real world and not have a problem with it, because there's plenty of room to move those 2 cargo containers forward a little bit. Not the type of trailer where they're snapped onto it. They're only belted on with tension straps. No different to when I've been double stacking stuff. And I know I'm convincing myself more than I'm convincing you guys. Stop engine. Restore the crane. So this might be more or less, apart from the fact there is more metal rolls here to use if I choose to, this might be finished and ready to move that trailer, that fuel trailer, and then come back if it needs to with a cargo trailer to do something else. I can't pack the one on the back. I can't pack either of them, but there is, you know, I've got 4 slots packed, 1 slot loose. So technically, oh, there we go. Don't break your Phoenix, mate. There's a risk of dropping metal rolls here, but should be alright. If I don't bring the Azov through, I'm going to want the Phoenix's bigger crane to handle the cabin manipulation anyway. Do I have a chance to railway track with that loose on the back? It might be easier. It might be safer to persevere with the slightly muddy trail. Although that's wedged in fairly well, that one on the higher one of the 2. But I think this is probably the safer option than risking the railway line. Oh, that's the tree that doesn't bend. Must remember that. Put the view back at the front so I can see what's going on a bit better. Yeah, this is the bit I don't like, but give me a bit of support, please, winch, without tipping me over. You see why I think the railway track is safer when you haven't got loose cargo, or quicker. So I am going to take more fuel out of this now, which will take it below its 500 requirement. But I'll worry about fuel as a separate problem. I'll have to get fuel and put some back in. That's a problem for future outlay. I'm going to deliver the 2 cabins and then that'll be the end of this episode, guys. I have overrun anyway, and I certainly don't have time to take these rolls down and do the crafting of the next bits. So, but the good news for me is that I'm pretty sure the next episode should see all 3 factory contracts completed, because I've got all the materials I need for the cabins bar 2 wooden planks. I'll have to basically collect 2 bricks, 2 wooden planks, do some crafting, and then move around some trailers. And I reckon I can get that in an episode to round out this Big Salmon Peak map. And then pretty soon we'll be back to flooded foothills. Slight challenge is going to be, do I deploy fuel here and then drive it to flooded foothills? I will, but I'm sure I'll be coming back into Big Salmon Peak for various things. I'm sure, even if it's just those metal rolls. So yeah, deploy some fuel here, take some of it back into flooded foothills with me. And basically do the same thing in there. But I think we're close to the end of Big Salmon Peak, which feels good. But I do like the map. I haven't said this for a couple of episodes. It is easily my favourite map in SnowRunner so far. Specifically Big Salmon Peak. Not necessarily Yukon as a whole. I'm enjoying Yukon, but I'm enjoying it mostly because I absolutely love Big Salmon Peak. I think it flows well. Yes, it's a bit grindy. It feels like I've got past the grindy bit. I'm now getting to the more fun bit. Right, so cargo, we're looking to deposit 2 containers, and then in the crafting warehouse we've got 2 containers. We've got 2 wooden planks. We need a total of 4 wooden planks, but we can craft a cabin, and then it shows that we just need the 2 wooden planks. Then on output we could now take a cabin or the cargo container. So that's sorted. We need 2 wooden planks. Let's pack these 2 so I know they're safe. Get the camera in a nicer position. Okay, so that's going to wrap this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I will get myself prepared for the stuff I need to do for the next episode. I hope to see you in that next episode. In the meantime, thank you very much and goodbye.